Subtle skills, big results.
Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast. Welcome back to the Ninja Selling Podcast. Matt and Garrett are back, and we are excited to be with you today. As always, we always enjoy this time. This is a great time of the day for both of us. So with that being said, if you're listening to this for the first time and you want to go check out what in the world we're talking about, you can go to ninjaselling.com. You'll be happy to see it when you get there because ninjaselling.com has revamped their website, and it is super easy to navigate and find the things you're looking for. If you want to find upcoming classes, super easy to find them. If you want to find coaching and what's available there, super easy to find that. And you can find the Ninja Selling Podcast on there too. So if you ever have anybody you're talking to or sharing the podcast with, an easy way to tell them is to go to ninjaselling.com. You can find it there also, as well as many other places. With that being said, Matt, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, you can find it anywhere podcasts are distributed, because not where podcasts are sold, because it's free. Before we get into today's topic, really cool experience for me. I will say I appreciate everybody who sends us notes and things. It's awesome. You definitely do not have to do that.
It's recommended. It's recommended, but you don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it. It's very appreciated. But interestingly, I opened my mail yesterday and there is a hand-addressed envelope from Low Tide Brewing, which is the brewery that's just about a mile away from my home. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, did I get invited to like some super secret awesome club? And in it is a gift card and a handwritten note that basically says, the next beer's on me. Thank you. Merry Christmas from Fort Worth, Texas. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And so Debbie Bird, you're incredible. She must have called the brewery. This is the only thing I think of. Called the brewery and said, hey, I want to send this person a gift card because they don't do online gift cards, and had them write this handwritten note. And so kudos to Low Tide for executing on that. And Debbie, thank you so much for doing this. It actually gave me a thought too. So I was like, how cool would it be if in your post-closing process for sellers who sell and move away, that you did something like this for them at some point in that first year? It just felt good to me. I mean, I knew it wasn't her handwriting, obviously, because she's in Texas and I'm in South Carolina, but it was really cool. I loved the experience.
How could you tell it wasn't her handwriting because of Texas and South Carolina?
Well, I guess she could have flown to South Carolina and done this.
I was just curious.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to find out. I'm going to call Debbie today. Maybe she did fly and write this, or maybe she mailed this to Low Tide. I don't know. I was just assuming Low Tide wrote it.
I want to say thank you also to Debbie. She took care of me also, and I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we got a chance to talk a little bit back and forth on Messenger. And again, very much appreciated and awesome that she took care of us like that. So yeah, nothing that anybody has to do, but very much appreciated. So thank you.
Yeah, it was amazing. So think about this idea in your post-closing process, folks, because this was cool. It made me feel good. On to today's topic. Speaking of feeling good, Garrett, you are bringing an awesome topic, which I think is relevant for today. We're about to head into a whole brand new year, another set of 365 days, another set of 12 months, another set of 52 weeks. Probably should have put those in some sort of order that made chronological sense, but
no, it's great. We know what you're talking about.
I'll let you introduce the topic since you brought it up, as well as like kind of every topic for the past 5 episodes. But
I want to roll, man.
Yeah, you are.
Until they're not good, they'll be like, yeah, I'm done with my role. Pass the baton. But no, I was having a call with one of our coaches the other day, and we're talking about how we see the world. And the reason it came up is because, all of us get to interpret the world that's around us. We get to interpret how things are happening to us. When a situation will happen, it's interesting. You can look at somebody who looks at that and says, that's a crappy situation and I'm sorry for you. There's other people that will look at it and say, wow, it's like, what did you learn out of that? What was the good things that came out of that weird situation that you just went through? And the other people would just be like, man, what a gift you were given by having that situation happen. You have all these different interpretations of it. And the conversation quickly went to like, okay, so like, why do different people see the exact same situation in these completely different ways? And I started to think about, One, we start talking about gratitude, start talking about affirmations, putting your mind into a different spot. And what came to me, Matt, is I just had this moment of like, people that interpret those things differently, it's like wearing a different pair of sunglasses. And like if you go and buy yourself a really nice, you don't have to buy, just go try on a really nice high-end pair of sunglasses. A lot of times you'll hear people say, wow, look at the colors, look at how crisp everything is. It just makes everything look better. By the way, the environment around you has not changed. You can then come into my garage and I'll give you a pair of these like bright yellow glasses that I use when I'm working on cars and doing projects because they amplify all the light. I call them my sunglasses, Matt, because like it makes every day feel like it's sunny out. I love them.
Doesn't block the sun. It brings the sun in.
It brings the light. It's amazing. I'm like, I'm going to put my sunglasses on. But again, the world around me doesn't change, but it completely changes my interpretation of what the world around me looks like, which, by the way, is how my brain then photographs the moments of my life and says, okay, what is my memory I have of that moment working in the garage doing this thing? It's all interpreted through these different color glasses that I'm wearing. At the same time, I have another pair of woodworking goggles that I have. They're at my other shop. And they're all scratched up. And I hate wearing them. They're like my glasses that every single time I put them on, I'm like, God, they make it hard to work. I can't see my project, but I got to protect my eyes. And it's funny, I was thinking about it, is every single time I put those on and I have to do a project out there, it changes my energy about what I'm seeing and how well I can work and how well I can do what I'm doing, which then got me thinking is like,
you should buy a new pair of goggles.
I should buy a new pair of goggles. That's a simple answer. But what got me thinking about this is I was putting all these things together in my head and saying, when we talk about gratitude, we talk about affirmations, we talk about how we choose to interpret the world around us. I think it's a great question to ask ourselves is, what glasses am I wearing today? What glasses do I have as my go-to glasses? What are the ones that I choose to wear on a normal everyday basis? And then what glasses do we have in our back pocket that we choose to put on that allow us to see the world maybe in a way that doesn't really give us the best energy and doesn't really help us be the best of who we could possibly be, like maybe the goggles that I have at the shop, which then maybe Matt and I should talk about this topic. This is how I go through my days, having little moments like that and going like, maybe Matt and I should talk about this. So Matt, let's throw it in the arena here.
Well, I think it's a great analogy because we all do see things differently, right? The realities and our perceptions are all different based on how we view situations, environments, all of those things. But we can change that with our own mind. We can change that by deploying gratitude or holding back judgment or whatever it might be given the particular situation. And it's fascinating. It made me think of another great Joe Dispenza quote that I love. And he talks about this in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which is that your personality creates your personal reality. And why personal reality is because every reality is all individualistic to ourselves. My reality is not the same as Garrett's reality. If you're being, quote, realistic, we just talked about that, that's just for you. That doesn't mean anything for anybody else. And so if you are not experiencing what you want to be experiencing, maybe it's time to change your glasses and say, hey, am I wearing the wrong mindset here? Do I need to switch this out and brighten things up a little bit? Do I need to switch this out and look at things in a little bit different light so that I can feel the positive energy that's coming from this? They've done studies on all this stuff too. And we probably have mentioned this before, I'm sure. It's like optimistic people tend to be healthier and happier, right? They also tend to achieve more things. They tend to live longer, which is not really that surprising when we think about it. The challenge then comes, Garrett, I think, is how do we tune the non-conscious? How do we have this level of awareness to know that we have the wrong pair of glasses on?
I think, well, again, this is what I've watched with myself and others that I've worked with, and this is why I brought up gratitude to begin with. This is one of your easiest ways of putting a filter in your world, putting a filter on your mind to say, okay, I'm going to try to find the good in what's around me right now. I was listening to comparing my son and my wife, which is always fun to do, is to compare people in your family. You just can never tell them you're comparing them. You have to do it quietly and silently, otherwise you get in trouble.
Does Sarah listen to this? I don't think she listens, right?
No, she doesn't. She used to listen. Now she's like, I hear enough of him. I can't hear him anymore. It's interesting as I watch Sarah, and like when we interpret like a day outside, sun will be out and Sarah's like, these are my favorite days. The sun feels so good. It's so nice outside. I love the warmth in the air, all that kind of stuff. You hear my son who sees the same day, but then goes, oh, it's hot outside. I don't like these days. I can't cool off. Like, and he's interpreting it this way. The other day I was out with him and it was pouring rain, cold, cold, cold. We're leaving the house. And I said, do you want to take a jacket with you? No, absolutely not. Actually, getting him to wear shoes was a whole nother problem. Like, we at least have to get shoes on. But as he's going up, 15-year-old boy, most of you will understand who has 15-year-old boys. But as he's heading outside, he starts telling me how he loves this day. I said, tell me everything you love about this environment right now. And he starts going into how clean this makes the world, like when it's raining like this and it washes away all the dirt and the dust off of things and it makes the leaves sparkle. It makes, like, he's telling me everything about how wonderful this time is, where I could easily walk into my house and be like, Sarah, like, do you love this outside? She's like, I can't wait. She's like looking to see when the sun's going to come out again. I think that, we can easily find ourselves in these patterns of, both of those people are correct, by the way. They both love these certain things for the right reasons. But then when they find themselves in a different environment, they're hoping and they want to get back to this other environment rather than just enjoying the environment that they're in right now and taking in what that moment is at that time. I think putting yourself into a state of gratitude in the mornings allows you not to hope for other days. It allows you to appreciate the day that you're currently in, which I think is a state that would benefit a lot of people in our world and our society, is to stop hoping for other days around us. Stop hoping for the sun. Stop hoping for a different marketplace to come back. Stop hoping for a different whatever. And just slow down and put yourself into a state of gratitude and look around at the beauty of what's around you right now. This is where the whole sunglasses thing came in, Matt. Is like, because you can choose to put on a different pair if you need a different pair for in the moment that you're in right now.
Well, and I think that's the choice part, is the ultimate piece that is hard to acknowledge. But once you grasp that, it's, hey, the inevitability of experiencing an unpleasant environment, an unpleasant person, is pretty high. Like, that's going to happen most likely, but you have a choice of how you want to live with that experience. We get to choose whether we judge or we hold judgment. Interesting thing at church this past weekend, our pastor had made the comment. He said, it's interesting how we judge other people based just on their actions, but we judge ourselves based on our intentions. So if we do something wrong, we're like, oh, well, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to say that. But we don't allow other people to share their intentions with us before we make judgments. And I think that's part of this whole mindset picture too, is we judge the environment, the space, the people we interact with without fully understanding what are the intentions of rain, right? To wash away, to clean, to renew. And then now you can appreciate things. And even if it doesn't mean that you have to like stuff, we're not saying that we need to put on rose-colored glasses, quote unquote, and then just be like, oh, everything's just fine while, there's a building burning down. Not at all.
Oh, warmth.
It feels so good. But if we learn how to appreciate these things and develop a practice, so I think the practice of gratitude every morning is definitely good. And we talk a lot about that, and it probably cannot be said often enough. But I just think the practice of holding our own judgment towards things to allow ourselves to experience the positive energy that exists in that space, because it's there. No matter how bad things are, that positive energy is there somewhere. You just got to find where it is and latch onto it, and it's going to fill you up like no other. And then bloop, here come the mindset goggles in the positive light, and we're like, whoa, look at all the color that's around me. I'm feeling fantastic, right? So, I think gratitude, holding judgment, those are two big things.
Well, and I think this is the reason the glasses kind of came around to me is that Yeah, I have like different glasses for my different environments to make the best environment around me for that moment. If I'm going to go out driving, I have certain glasses I'm going to wear. They're different glasses that I wear when I go fishing, because the ones that I'm fishing make it more enjoyable because I can see through the glare on top of the water. It allows me to interpret that water in a different way so that I can work with it rather than being frustrated by it. Again, as I said, I have my sunglasses that I wear in the garage because it amplifies all the light around me. I can see things better. It defines things, makes things have real crisp edges. By the way, it takes away all the color, though. It really does not amplify certain colors. It kind of mutes them all out in kind of a weird way, but it makes it, everything's just brighter is what it is. There's all these different things for these right environments. And I think sometimes we have one pair of glasses and we expect them to work in every environment with every person that we're around, with every situation that we come up to. And I think we need to be a little bit more flexible in our world if we want to have the best experience with all the things that are around us. And if we have multiple pairs of glasses that we can put on and be like, oh, that's how you're seeing that. Like, I didn't realize you were wearing those the whole time. Like, look at this. It's totally different world than I thought I was seeing here right now. And you put on a different pair and you go somewhere else. You're like, oh, that's why you're wearing these glasses. I can see everything that you're seeing right now. It makes total sense. Like, this is again, bigger picture here, but I think in the mindset that we want to talk about today, Matt, and what's important to us today is that how are you interpreting the world around you to put yourself in the best place ever, to bring your best energy possible? Because that energy positively affects everybody around you. It makes the whole world a better place when you're in the best place you can be in.
Well, and bringing into business, I mean, there's going to be different glasses for different phases of a transaction. Not that we're going to change out our positivity or anything like that, but there's different glasses that you'll wear for different types of clients, different personality types. But if you acknowledge the energy you are bringing, because there are, glasses that we don't want to wear probably in any situation. And we see it all the time, particularly when people turn into a new year or whatever. Like, I think just because people are talking about transitions and what is upcoming business and all that kind of stuff. And you'll have two conversations with people who are like, oh man, I'm so excited. I have an abundance of a business around me. People are like, oh, I'm so excited to go to the new year because this year's been so bad. It's like, well, we need to switch out the glasses before the new year switches over so we don't carry, 2022's energy right there into 2023, that vision, because just because the calendar turns doesn't change anything. The calendar is just a day. Like, that's it. That's all it is. It's your personality that drives whatever personal reality you want to have in 2023. So let's put on the right glasses now so that we can head into that and attract the business that we want to have.
Well, Matt, you're seeing it just like I'm seeing it right now. There are people that have abundance glasses on right now, and there are people that have scarcity glasses on. Because I'm having the different conversations every single day with people that are going like, man, look at the possibilities of the future. And there's the other side of, man, look at like, these are all the warning signs I see out here right now. It's no different than having a pair of polarized glasses when you're fishing to wearing just normal sunglasses. You get to see different things when you have the right glasses on, when you're looking at the exact same environment. One person's looking through the water, sees through the glare and sees the fish. The other person is just blinded by the glare and they're going, scarcity. There's no fish in here. We can't fish. There's nothing going on. The other one's like, look at all the fish. Look at them all. They're all over the place. Same environment. Differences is how you're interpreting the situation that you're in. We're watching it happen right now with so many people.
Yeah. I do find that most people are excited for 23, which is great. It's just whether you're excited because I'm going to go kill it or you're excited because I got to leave behind this mess. If you're looking past, if you have the mindset glasses that look backwards, maybe they're those glasses with the mirrors in them so you can see behind you. Remember those?
Oh, I used to have a pair of those.
If you have those glasses on, let's take those off. Let's get rid of the rear view mirror and stop looking backwards and start looking forwards, because there is an abundance ahead of you, regardless of what's behind of you. Yeah, the past may not be very great. It may be filled with scarcity and all of those things. That's gone now, right? And we get to choose if we carry those glasses forward with us or if we want to, go pick up a nice, new, crisp, clean, the weight just feels so good in your hands and you put them on and they don't pinch your temples. They don't pinch that space right above your ears. They just fit so perfectly.
That's the worst. That sore part right at the top of your ear. Oh, it's miserable.
These glasses, they fit really, really well, right? They just fit so super perfectly. The lenses are like perfectly sized for your own cheekbones, so you're not bumping up against them or anything. They don't give you that headache on the bridge of your nose at all. They're just amazingly smooth, and it allows you to see everything in all of its glory. That's my wish for the glasses that people put on today and carry over the next several days as we transition into 23.
I want to compliment everybody, though, in this transition from 2022 to 2023, because I have a lot of people optimistic and looking forward to this new year. I am seeing that, Matt. Back in 2019, going into 2020, the conversation was, I am so ready to be done with this year. 2019 was not the best year. I don't like it. We're done with it. 2020 is going to be great. Let's go big. Let's have at it. And then we got hit with a pandemic, and they're like, this is even worse than the year that we had for 2019. And then we get to 2021, and people are like, fresh start. And they're like, still more of it's here. And then we get to 2022, and they were like, don't you get it? It's 2022. It's the second 2020. It's the return of 2020. 2020 was horrible. Didn't you hear that? Oh, that one came around for me. I was like, what are you guys talking about?
I don't know how I made it all year without hearing that one.
2022. It's the return. And I was like, oh gosh, everybody was so just like excited to be done with the last 12 months that they were in and being like, we just need a fresh start, a new start. I am not hearing that this year, transferring from 2022 to 2023. I hear optimism. I hear people saying, I hope my business has the ability of maybe being as good as it has been, maybe hit some of the numbers that I've hit, and I hope we can do as well as we did this year. It's not the sense of wanting to like restart and like blow out the past. It's way healthier, I would say, because anytime you are trying to transition that good that I'm miserable with the past and I need something new that's going to fix my world, it's not really a great place to be, because I don't even have the right words for it. It's not a great place to be. And I'm not hearing that right now. And I just want to compliment everybody out there. I know some people are frustrated with maybe the ways business worked in 2022 or how hard they had to work, and there's some burnout. But it's not a hatred for 2022. 2019, I saw a lot of people that were like physically angered at what that year was and ready to be done and move on to something different and a fresh start. And again, I think we're in a really good place. I think all in all, I'm really happy with where I'm seeing everybody at right now. So this podcast today, this episode was never designed to be like, you all need to change out there. It was more of a healthy reminder of like, just pay attention to how you're interpreting the world and the situations that are around you. And maybe there's some better glasses you could put on. And that's really what my intention was.
I mean, I need that reminder. I think we all do. It's not easy to do, easy not to do, but like sometimes these things, because our non-conscious program runs all the time, sometimes it works against what we really want consciously. And so this helps us tune that non-conscious, and I appreciate everybody. I'm excited going into 23. This is going to be, fantastic. I'm just excited because I'm always excited for the next step on anything. And if we are going to look at things in calendar years, I think 2023 is going to be a fantastic calendar year for a lot of people. I think there's going to be a lot of 12-month periods from Q3 of 22 to Q3 23 that are going to be great for people. I think I'm filled with good energy right now.
Just take it one day at a time. We all look at these big, huge moments of time. It's like, well, what if you just operate on a level that created the world that you want to create, but you just looked at every day as one day at a time? And am I walking in alignment with the person that I want to be, the goals that I want to hit? Not like, I hope we do it this year. Just do it every day. If you do it every day, it'll work. I promise you.
Yeah. There's no need to hope if you're just focused on doing the things, feeling the energy, just like in Cool Runnings. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get on up. Bobsled time.
I love it. But I mean, again, if you want to be somebody who's in great physical shape, like, again, this is your opportunity. Put on those fitness glasses and say, okay, well, what are my opportunities that are around me that allow me to be in really good shape? Instead of making it be a 12-month thing of like, this is who I want to be at the end of the year. just start looking at it and say, okay, who creates that? And we get every single day in front of us and just approach it one day at a time. And I would say the more you can do that, it's not you trying to be somebody by the end of the year. It's you showing up consistently as that type of person. And every day you wake up, you say, okay, how am I going to be that person today? You are then creating that identity around who you are as you do it more and more and more. And all of a sudden you become that person. That's who I am. I work out every single day. I eat this way every single day. I talk to my people and my database this way every single day. Just start showing up that way. And Matt, I'm stuck on this because I think I watch too many people that right now are making the who I want to be at the end of the year with all these things. And it's like, no, just every day.
There it is. I appreciate this topic. Really good one. Love the analogy and appreciate everybody who's been listening all year. We have had a very, very fun year with the podcast. And thanks to everyone, we've had over 1 million downloads this year alone with the Ninja Selling Podcast. And so I got to say thank you to everybody who's listening, to those of you who share it and bring other people into this world, because that's a lot in 1 year. And it's amazing.
To put it into perspective, in the 3 years prior, we had 700,000 downloads in the 3 years prior leading up. So to go 3 years prior of having 700,000 over that entire time span to all of a sudden hit 1 million this year, I want to say thank you to everybody. Like, this has been incredible to watch happen as this thing has started to pick up steam. And there was a moment going into this year, I was like, is this all of our listeners? Like, this is just it. And we're like, not going to grow, or like, it's just going to kind of be this. And so it's been really awesome to watch this thing all of a sudden take off. So now I'm kind of like, well, where is this thing going?
2 million next year, maybe more, 3 million.
I go on 3 million next year. This is not a 1-for-1 growth. We're exponential, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's so cool. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And as always, and if you have not hopped into our Facebook community, we got a group. It's popping. It's amazing. Just search the Ninja Selling Podcast in Facebook. You'll find it. Answer a few questions. Please answer the questions. It makes it easy for us to admit, because what we do to make life a little bit easier is there's a little filter thing, and you can say questions, answered some questions. And then that brings up everybody who's answered questions. We read through them real quick and accept. If you haven't answered questions, we don't see you. And if Facebook's not presenting you with the questions, I apologize on their behalf. Maybe just cancel your request and start over again, and you'll be in. It'll be amazing.
I have 246 people right now that have requested to be members. And there's a lot of you in here that have not answered questions.
Okay. Well, so make that maybe a goal. Answer some questions.
Just answer some questions. That's all we ask. 236 people have not answered questions in here that are waiting for approval. If you haven't been accepted into the group, that's probably where the problem lies. But on the other side of it, we have a great group of people, Matt. I'm going to share the numbers here with you right now. We have 10,428 people as of today.
Wow. That's amazing.
Growing fast.
Thank you guys for joining in there and posting and sharing and commenting and communicating and collaborating. It's fantastic. So appreciate you, Garrett. Appreciate you, listeners, everybody. Happy final episode of 2022. We'll see you on our normal schedule in 23. We'll be there. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been an amazing year, and we're excited for this new one coming up. And I hope you all have wonderful times with your families and your loved ones, celebrating all your special traditions and all the things that make your world be the best it can be. And we'll see you in the new year. If you enjoyed today's episode and would like more, visit us at theninjasellingpodcast.com.
There you will also find links for more information about ninja selling and coaching. Have an incredible day.